You guys want the epitome of a fun 80s action movie? This is one of them right here. I mean, just the title of this movie screams 1980s, doesn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Zack, and I love discussing cinema and all things entertainment. And as always, I really do appreciate you guys clicking on the thumbnail today, and I really hope you enjoy your stay, because this time around, we are taking a look at Copshop. And this film was directed by Joe Carnahan, who brought you both Smokin' Aces and The Grey. And it stars Gerard, Butler, Frank Grillo, and newcomer Alexis. One of the key players to watch out for in this one is wily con artist Teddy Moretto, played by Frank Grillo. And he hatches a plan to hide out from lethal assassin Bob Biddick, played by Gerard Butler, who holds a serious grudge against him. So to get himself arrested, he punches rookie officer Valerie Young in the face, and Moretto ends up locked in a small town police station in Nevada. But jail can't protect Moretto for long, as Biddick schemes his own way into detention, biding his time in a nearby cell until he can complete his mission. Kinda sounds like one of the most original ideas for a cop movie that's out there right now. I mean, a criminal intentionally finding his way into jail just so he can get at another criminal who he holds a grudge against? I mean, this just sounds incredibly fun to me. And I gotta admit, I had no idea this movie even existed until like a week ago. I literally was just watching AEW Dynamite in the background, and this commercial came on, and it really got me hooked into it. I was like, what the heck is this? I don't know what this is, but it sure looks pretty darn interesting. So intrigued as I was, I hit up my local theater to see what all the buzz was about, and I gotta say, I walked out of this theater incredibly surprised and incredibly pleased. First of all, because it was a very peaceful experience. It was just me and one other soul in this theater. Very, very empty. And there's a part of me that honestly thinks that's a damn shame, because this movie should be getting a lot more attention than it's actually getting. Which I totally understand if that's because people don't feel exactly safe going to a movie theater right now, being a pandemic and everything. But I think Copshop is going to turn out to be one of the most underrated and overlooked films of 2021. I had a blast with this film. The first half of this film I thought was immaculately set up. The screenwriters did a fabulous job establishing this police station, establishing these relationships, as well as a dynamite rivalry between Butler and Grillo's characters that provides us with absolute comedic magic. This movie honestly kind of reminded me of The Nice Guys a little bit, except with criminals. It legit does feel like Shane Black wrote this script. There is a lot of really raunchy comedic one-liners thrown in here, and I almost felt ashamed to be laughing at certain points. But that's what this movie wants, guys, because this is a dark comedy. I'm just pointing this out just in case anybody's at all curious after this review and they plan on going to see this movie. My advice is don't take Copshop 100% seriously, because otherwise, if you do so, you're gonna think it's the worst piece of ever written. Let me just reiterate that Copshop is a dark comedy. Got that? Good. Good. I gotta talk about Gerard Butler a little bit too, because he was absolutely fabulous in this film. He is a total badass who eats up every frame he's given. Butler looks like he's having the time of his life playing Bob Biddick, faking DUIs, looking for vengeance, the unlikely hero. He's got lots of layers to work with here, and let me just say this, he is certainly up for the task. As is Frank Grillo as this slimy con man who cons his way into jail to get away from Gerard Butler. And I think Grillo's greatest strength in this movie, with the help of a solid screenplay, he is always able to keep the audience guessing with his character. You never quite know if characters are gonna buy into his bullshit, and better yet, we don't necessarily know for a while if he even is selling us bullshit like a con artist would. This is quite the turn from him, and just like Gerard Butler, this is one of Grillo's best roles in a while. But perhaps the biggest shining star of this movie is newcomer Alexis as this rookie cop who finds herself in the middle of all this. And I'm just saying it right now, I'm gonna argue that this is probably Valerie's story, because you are completely behind her character and her situation, and Lauder was tremendous in this movie. We not only get connected to her, but also to all the friends she makes within the police force, including Chad L. Coleman, Tyrese of Walking Dead fame, so cool to see him again, and not to mention she is a stone-cold badass. There are some icy stares she has that absolutely pierce into your soul. I can't wait to see her get more big roles roles down the line. She absolutely killed it. Now, as I've mentioned, the first half of this movie does a stellar job in establishing these characters, their relationships, and their given circumstances. And the first half of this movie also shines with such an old-fashioned score. The soundtrack choices I also felt were really fun, but I will admit I did find myself enjoying the first half considerably more than the second. I mean, once the character of Anthony Lamb, played by Toby Huss, the serial killer, is introduced, then to quote one of my favorite comic book characters of all time, everything becomes chaos. It is pure carnage, to put it mildly. But my big issues with Copshop actually come as the film draws to a close. First things first, the CGI fire looks so wonky and fake for some reason. I don't know what the hell happened on that front, but it really felt so distracting from all the goodness happening in front of it, sadly. Which wasn't really much to look at anyway. I unfortunately found the lighting design to be a little bit off as well. And I get the bluish vibe they were going with it because, you know, police station and all. But these fights are taking place in the evening when it's absolutely pitch dark outside. So with the bluish lighting, it kind of makes it difficult to make out what's really going on inside. And I'll try and be as vague about this next point as possible because you guys know I'm not about spoiling things. But I felt like this movie's ending dragged on way too f***ing long. And there's also certain things that are revealed, which I totally get it looking at the big picture, but it honestly kind of made it difficult for me to suspend my disbelief in the moment. But thankfully, none of this really detracted too much from my enjoyment of Copshop, and I absolutely recommend that you guys check this out when you can. Now, with all that being said, does that mean that we're gonna remember this movie existed a year from now? Probably not. But for what it is, this is a very fun watch. Joe Carnahan directed the out of this movie. There are some pretty damn fun bloodbaths that he throws into the mix, and it's all capped off by one of the most wild finales you will see all year long. With that in mind, I'm gonna give Copshop a B. Color me surprised. For a movie I was expecting nothing from, Joe Carnahan gave me some solid fun for about an hour and 45 minutes. And I would definitely recommend that you guys check out Copshop while it's in theaters. Who knows, you might consider this one of the big hidden gems of 2021, if you will. But of course, this is all just one guy's opinion. What did you guys think of Copshop? Are you looking forward to seeing it? Did you hear of this movie existing before this review? And I'm also curious, what is your guys' favorite cop movie of all time? Feel free to sound off as much as you want down in the comments section below. As you guys know, I love making this content, discussing all new things cinema and entertainment with you guys. So if these topics sound appealing to you, then I would recommend hitting that subscribe button down below as hard as you possibly can, because it's completely free to you guys. It would be really beneficial to help me get this content out there. And we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, which I'm hoping to reach by the end of the year. And hey, if you guys enjoyed the video, just one last reminder to hit that thumbs up on your way out. Also super beneficial to get this content out there. And as always, guys, look out for more exciting content hitting this channel very soon. This weekend looks pretty stacked. I'm gonna be looking at The Guilty with Jake Gyllenhaal on Netflix. And of course, being a musical theater guy, I gotta go check out Dear Evan Hansen this weekend, which I'm hearing mixed things about. So I'm definitely looking forward to discussing that movie with you guys, along with the rest of the Daniel Craig James Bond films and the build-ups to No Time to Die. This Wednesday, September 22nd, look out for my next review in that playlist for Skyfall. And on September 29th, right after that, we're gonna be looking at Spectre. But you guys are the best. Once again, thank you all so very much for your support and clicking on the thumbnail. It really does mean the world. And with all that being said, back talk, commence.